Hi everyone, and welcome to Full on a Journey. My name is Tracy, and today we're just going to do a quick little energy check-in for each of the astrological signs, and let's get going. So first off, of course, will be Aries, the start of the zodiac. Beautiful fire sign, initiatory energy. What is it that we've got for Aries today? The Six of Wands. This is such a celebratory energy. This has got pop star energy all over it. You can see she is kind of at the end of her show that she's put on. She's celebrating. The crowd is going wild. So Aries, for you, whatever you've been up to, whatever you have been putting energy into and hoping for the best, you're here. It's time to celebrate. You are victorious. You are to be admired and adored. And so the sort of suggestion of the moment is to just get out there and celebrate yourself and celebrate your achievements, what you have done, and to put yourself out there without being afraid, which I think as an Aries you shouldn't have too much problem doing. Okay, let's see what we've got for our beautiful Tauruses, the first of the earth signs. Very sensual. You guys love your food and your beautiful soft furnishings and all the deliciousness of life. So we've got the Tower, and there was another one peeking out here, the Death card. Okay guys, you are not messing around today. These are two really big old major arcana, and they linked because the Tower is about some external force out of your control or some kind of internal urge that breaks everything down. And of course the Death card, which in this Light Seers tarot deck is actually named Birth and Rebirth, is very much that reminder that everything is in the constant cycle of either being birthed and growing and developing, or starting to decay and die. So something is breaking your, which is also quite a Taurian thing, to be very established and to be quite set in your ways, maybe even, especially if you're older, or at least, you know, a kind of stubbornness and a resistance to change. And something's coming, or something has come, which wants to break it all down and get you out of that rut that you might be in, and get moving and get fluid and just get into, so not even just surrendering, but even embracing this death and rebirth cycle and not being afraid of it, and it going a bit against your nature perhaps in so doing. So good luck with that. Can be really beautiful times ahead if you walk into that with your eyes wide open and with an energy of like, I've got this, I'm going to walk through the fire and see what beautiful things are on the other side. So cool. So next we have Gemini, the first little twittery air sign. I always think of Geminis as butterflies that are flying around and visiting all the flowers. Lots of ideas, very witty, very sociable, always got so much on the go. So let's see what the energy is. Little energy check-in for our Geminis today. All right, what is this? The Magician. So as you go about your days at the moment, Geminis, and you're doing all that pollinating of flowers and the meeting of people and being out and about and having all these projects on the go and lots of thoughts, there's an invitation, an opportunity, a really nice energetic moment right now for you to harness your inner magician that can pull in fire and water and air and earth and bring them together and gather maybe what is sometimes quite a fragmented because your heads are so busy and your interests are so wide. But maybe now is a moment that's asking you to really just pull that in and bring it all together to make something quite substantial. So good luck with that, Gemini. Maybe not quite in your nature, depends what else you've got going on in your chart, of course, but there seems to be a really beautiful moment now to just bring it all in and create something bigger out of all the small bits. Okay, beautiful Cancerians, the first of the water signs. I don't know that many Cancerians, and what I do know about them is they tend to be really family orientated, so maybe you can educate me a little bit more about what being Cancerian is really all about. And let's see what your little energy check-in for today is. The Page of Cups. So we're in your element here of water, emotions, and so on. And it's a very young and gorgeous and naive young person. You can see what I love about this card is the sense of this page still being very connected to source, which is something that is so much a childlike quality where we haven't become, you know, jaded and weighed down by responsibility. So I love that. But at the same time is the lack of experience, this very sort of up in the clouds. There's a little pig flying, you know, with wings, and yeah, just lots of hearts and so on. So for you Cancerians, it's about connecting really with your inner child, but not in a deep and intense way, in a very playful way. Just to find, maybe you have been focused very much on your family responsibilities and, you know, other things to do with the material realm, and you've forgotten a little bit about yourself. I'm thinking very much about a close Cancerian friend who sacrifices herself a lot for her family. And it's the kind of thing I'd actually want to say to her right now is, come, let's go and play at the bottom of the garden with the fairies and just be kind of naive and head in the clouds and very open-hearted to anything that comes. So I'd love to hear what that might mean for you if it resonates, Cancerians. Okay, good. What's next? Leos. All right, second fire sign. Big, beautiful, bold, theatrical, generous, warm, some of my favorite peoples. As an Aquarius rising, I really relate to Leos and my opposite signs. So let's see what we've got for you. Okay, this one's bursting out. All right. Can't remember now. Earlier, this card came up. It's birth and rebirth. It's death and rebirth. So it's very much this reminder that while death, and this is sort of like the Grim Reaper, I guess, you know, comes for us all, comes for everything. It's just part of the natural cycle. But within that death is held the entire universe. So it's just always a reminder, as far as I'm concerned, in a kind of deeper, more scorpionic kind of way than, say, the Wheel of Fortune, which also reminds us about cycles and that things go up and they also come down. This is a sort of deeper version of that. And it's about this, it does require a kind of recognition of where you are and a clarity about what needs letting go, and then letting that go, which is so much easier said than done. So my dear Leos, whatever is going on in your life right now that brings the death and rebirth card to you, is this just a little reminder that this is firstly so much a part of life, and that held within whatever might be coming to an end, whether you want it to or not, whether it's something that you've created the ending for, or whether the ending has come in spite of you, is to just that beautiful reminder that inside it, inside the ending, is just the entire universe of possibility of what's going to come next. So good luck with whatever it is you're going through. Okay, my Virgos, I'm a Virgo sun. Yeah, I think Virgos are the thread that holds the fabric of the universe together. But I think everyone needs a Virgo in their life, and I have quite a few. I think Virgos also need Virgos. So, okay, let's see what we've got for you. And here it is. The Knight of Pentacles. So, as an earth sign, you will relate to this Pentacles. And this guy, I mean, I really love this. I'm very much an outdoorsy nature person. So this sense of freedom of being barefoot and walking on a field with my beautiful horse just strolling behind me. It's a very relaxed energy. It's a very grounded energy, but it is moving forward. It's always considered the slowest of the nights. So the message here for you is to, I think, just keep tracking on. To, you know, Virgos often get quite a bad rap. I mean, that's a whole other video, but I think this is calling to me to just do what I do naturally and to be very chilled about it and to trust the process of it and to not really be bothered so much, because you can see that all these pentacles are just flowing from this character doing what they do naturally. So I think that this is just a little energy reminder to be yourself, never mind the haters, never mind people who don't understand how it is you function and why you do what you do. Just carry on and be chilled about it, and everything you need will flow. I mean, that sounds so optimistic, but you know, often we don't really always know what we need. So that's for me, a very trust the process kind of vibe. All right, our lovely Libras, our second air signs, the ones that are concerned with justice and diplomacy and balance in the universe. I have a Libra moon, which I am not crazy about because my Aquarius and Virgo make me very solitary and a bit of a lone wolf, and my Libra moon makes me crave connection, but that's again a whole other video. So let's see what we have for you today, Libras. All right, here it is. And we have the Five of Pentacles. So this card for me can be about many different things, but I often think of it here as that sense of being outside of what is regarded as mainstream society, or, you know, the kind of cultural norms that govern us, and we're on the outside of them. And you can see in this particular card, this character is like quite sad about the whole situation. They look very depressed actually, and there is the key to get in to where the light is coming from, where the people are, where the resources are, where the rest of the world is happening. It really depends on what kind of person you are. But I guess just as a little energy check-in, the main thing here is the fact that this key is here. So whatever's brought you, my beautiful Libras, to be having a moment in your life where, or some aspect of your life where you feel on the outside, like you're not part of the crowd, or your ideas or what it is you are doing has somehow excluded you or made you feel like you don't belong. Maybe just coming back to that Libra moon idea, this need for connection. please just look behind you and see that the key is there. You actually do know how to get in to reconnect with people, your community, your tribe, your group, or maybe there are new people that you need to find. Maybe there's a new community that you need to find. But the key is there to open the door. And, you know, if we're feeling down, it's important to honor that and to spend some time sitting in that energy. But I think given that this is just an energy check for the moment, the call here is to look up and see that key and decide whether you actually want to open it and go through that door and into the fold of your community. All right, Scorpios, beautiful, gorgeous Scorpios, mysterious, deep Scorpios. All things taboo, all things esoteric. So let's see what our little energy check is for Scorpios today. And there it is. The Ace of Swords. So Scorpios, deep emotion, right? Very deep people, deep thinking, but deep thinking in a deep feeling. Sorry, my bracelet just broke. In a deep feeling kind of way. This is beautiful new inspiration, a bright brand new idea, or maybe the real refinement of that idea that is now clarified for you. So Scorpios, there's something that you have really required clarity on, or maybe still do require clarity on. And the energy check in here is to take what might be an emotional impulse or something that's very deep inside you and bring it out to the fore and find a way of articulating it, formulating it, communicating it in a very clear and sharp way, and in a way that's initiatory, because that's an Ace of Swords. So it's something that starts off a way of thinking, or you know, a new particular idea. So that energy is here for you now. If there's something that you've been thinking about for quite a while, and trying to formulate and have been confused about, the energy is just beautiful right now for you to get that out. So good luck. I'd be really interested to hear what it is that you have been, you know, maybe struggling to formulate and to articulate. Okay, on to our Sagittarians. Yeah, the adventurers, the philosophers, the travelers. I always find Sagittarian fire energy very inspirational. I don't find it too overwhelming. No shade to my Aries friends, but so let's see what we've got for you, Sagittarius. All right, the Five of Swords. So this is really like the petty side of our natures. I have this theory, and it's kind of encapsulated by the idea of arrested development, that there's certain things that happen to us in our lives, and we kind of get stuck emotionally at that point. And so even as full-grown adults, we can still have this kind of childish pettiness. And this is a pettiness that has to do with when you're comparing yourself to other people and maybe feeling competitive and maybe feeling a bit jealous even, because other people, your peers, are doing better than you are financially or in their careers or in their relationships or whatever. But, you know, it's a sword card. So it's a lot of this monkey talk, negative self-talk that's going on in the head. And you can see, I mean, in this depiction, especially this guy, you know, it's giving him a flippin' headache. So the invitation to you, my dear Sagittarians, is to just put down your bow and arrow right now, your archery gear, and get off your horse and just, yeah, stop running around and having adventures and being fabulous travelers and whatever, and deal with the fact that there's some part of you, some little aspect of you that shows up in quite an immature way, that's feeling petty and competitive and niggly. And I think you need to sit down with that part of yourself and give them a sort of gentle talking to. That looks like pep talk is needed in this energy, because whatever it is, it's going to absolutely kind of sabotage, cripple in some way something you're trying to do in your life. You know, it's just getting in the way, but it's a call to stop and just attend to it. It's just a 5. It's just for the moment. This is just a momentary energy check. You've got this. I'd love to know what it was about. All right. I really hope I haven't left out any signs. Okay, now we're on to our Capricorns. Kind of a little bit scared of Capricorns. Capricorns, business people, corporations, these are people, in my experience, who are very thick-skinned. They are really competent. Business, government, planning, strategizing, get stuff done, earth sign, building structures and systems and institutions that are going to last for millennia. That's a Capricorn. So let's see what we have for you, dear Capricorns, while you are building your empires and leaving your legacies. All right, here we are. We've got the 9 of Pentacles. What a beautiful celebratory card. So this is really the culmination of, this is material self-sufficiency. This is someone who has created their own wealth, their own self-sustaining lifestyle, along the lines of, you know, could be you're a big business corporation type of Capricorn. Maybe you're more of a hippie kind of Capricorn who's into self-sustained lifestyles and ways of living. But there's something, this has come from discipline and going through all the various cycles of, from the apprentice all the way through to the boss. And here you are, and this is a moment to just, I think, sit and reflect on how you got here and distill the lessons learned. It's a position to be in that others could benefit from. You could mentor people, teach, share that incredible knowledge and experience that you've built up to get yourself to the 9 of Pentacles. And then throw a party and share all the, you know, the kind of fruits of your labor. That would be a really lovely way of utilizing this card right now and this energy. So enjoy, Capricorn. I hope that others get to benefit from your success. All right, on to Aquarius. My people, Aquarius rising, and lots of Aquarius friends. Let's see what we've got. The innovators, the inventors, the futurists, the humanitarians. Oh, there it is. There it is. The 4 of Wands. It's a 4 of Wands, which means that our energy, or something that we've put our energy in, the Wands energy, our fire energy, has got to a point where it's actually gaining traction. It's got stability because it's got 4 wands. And so it's time to actually stop and celebrate that. That's as simple as this is, I think, Aquarius, is, you know, it's really important to mark these milestones, and to have fun as well. You know, Aquarians are extremely hardworking people and can be pretty intense, and can also be very much loners, you know, until you find your tribe. So I think there's very much the sense for me right now, just as a quick energy check-in, that this is about just stopping to reconnect with your tribe, and just celebrate and have a party and have a good time. It's the end of the year, and I have no doubt that you've achieved all kinds of wonderful things. And you're not necessarily one to make a big deal out of it and, you know, blow a trumpet or whatever. So I think that's just a lovely little invitation to get out there and put your party hat on. Okay, and last, never least, is our beautiful Pisceans. Also, just one of my favorite groups of people, very hard to pin down. You know, the Pisces archetype is the dissolution of humanity back into the infinite. And so Pisceans come in all kinds of shapes and forms. They always have this beautiful, mystical, magical, sort of slightly unknowable quality about them, which I just love. Very inspirational and can be quite whimsical. So let's see what we've got for you, dear Pisces. And here it is, the Ten of Cups. So it's a Cups card, so it's your element of water, and it also is really a celebration of the various emotional cycles that we go through. And at some point in that cycle, everything just comes together. On the one hand, it's kind of the culmination of an emotional journey that is depicted as culminating in a marriage, a coupling, a family, tremendous emotional stability. But that's not true for everyone, right? Not everyone, this isn't the target or the goal or the outcome. But whatever it is, it's just for this moment, the invitation is to celebrate, I think, whatever the Ten of Cups is for you, whatever kind of near complete, because of course it's impossible to be completely emotionally fulfilled. That doesn't seem to be really the purpose of the human experience. We're here to experience pain and suffering and all the rest. So, and Pisceans are, you know, like sensitive to that. You're very, very deep and emotional beings, creatures, really. So in the midst of feeling all of humanity and all of the universe, just take a bit of time out to also celebrate those aspects of your life where things have become emotionally stable for you, or you have reached some kind of emotional fulfillment. Wonderful. Cheers, everyone. See you next time.